Καλησπέρα σας. Καλώς ήρθατε στον ΙΑΝΟ. Ο ΙΑΝΟΣ και οι εκδόσεις Βακχικόν παρουσιάζουν τα νέα βιβλία παιδικής και εφηβικής λογοτεχνίας, παιδική λογοτεχνία, Χίλια, πουλιά, το φεγγάρι και εγώ, Άντρεα Πέκλαρ, πώς αγκαλιάζουμε ένα σκαντζόχοιρο, Γιάνα Μπάουερ, εφηβική λογοτεχνία, η Αλίκη στη χώρα των τεράτων, Κοίτα από το παράθυρο, του Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ. Έχω ανεβάσει άλλο ένα που μου είπε ο εκδότης. Εδώ είναι έτσι, η αμαρτία. Ο εκδότης είναι κοντά μας. Θα του δώσω το λόγο και θα συντονίσει την εκδήλωση η Κατερίνα Σιδέρη, κριτικός λογοτεχνίας. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Καλησπέρα. Μαρία, ευχαριστούμε πολύ για τη φιλοξενία στην εκδήλωση. Unfortunately, we will speak in Greek now. It's not a problem, I think. It is a problem. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank our guests from Slovenia, Άντρεα Πέκλαρ, Γιάνα Μπάουερ, and Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ. Three very, very important and high acclaimed and awarded authors from Slovenia, and we are proud that we have them in Athens and in Thessaloniki, the National Book Fair, in a couple of days. I want to thank Creative Euro Project, Creative Euro Program, and the Slovenian Embassy in Athens for the support of these events here in IANOS and in Thessaloniki as well. And of course, Miss Κατερίνα Σιδέρη, a literary critic and specialized in the children's book, in children's book literature. Katerina has already written reviews for all of your books, so I think it was the best choice to speak about these books for the event here in IANOS. So we will begin with Katerina to speak to speak about the books in Greek. After that, we have some questions from Katerina for all of the authors, and let's have a discussion in English, and also you could speak in English about your books as well. As Maria told before, we have the children's book of Giána Bauer, two children's books of Άντρεα Πέκλαρ, and two young adult novels of Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ. Also, we have two more novels of Έβαλντ here, because we have published 4 books so far of Έβαλντ into Greek. And all of these books are available for sales here in the bookstore. Thank you, Κατερίνα.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα. Είμαι η Κατερίνα Σιδέρη, είμαι κριτικός λογοτεχνίας και θα μοιραστώ μαζί σας την άποψή μου για τα 5 βιβλία των Σλοβαίνων συγγραφέων που σήμερα μας τιμούν με την παρουσία τους. Θα ξεκινήσω με τα βιβλία του κυρίου Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ, «Η Αλίκη στην χώρα των τεράτων» και «Κοίτα από το παράθυρο». Είναι 2 βιβλία που απευθύνονται σε παιδιά της εφηβείας και διαφέρουν μεταξύ τους τόσο στο ύφος όσο και στις καταβολές τους. «Η Αλίκη στην χώρα των τεράτων» πρόκειται για μία άκρως φανταστική ιστορία, ξέχυλη χιούμορ και όχι μόνο, με πρωταγωνίστρια την Αλίκη από την χώρα των θαυμάτων, η οποία έχει πια μεγαλώσει και η οποία θα εμπλακεί σε νέες περιπέτειες, θα επισκεφτεί απρόσμενα πλάι στον θείο της μια φανταστική χώρα, μια χώρα ικανή να μας προβληματίσει με τα όσα συμβαίνουν εντός της. Η Ποτερουνία, αυτό είναι το όνομά της, είναι κατασκευασμένη από ένα άγνωστο για μένα υλικό, το πότι. Όλα όσα αντικρίζουν γύρω τους η Αλίκη και ο θείος της είναι από πότι και η φιλοσοφία των κατοίκων της χώρας είναι εξωπραγματική. Παράξενα οχήματα, προεκλογικές εκστρατείες, απίστευτοι νόμοι, απίθανοι πολίτες με αδιανόητες συμπεριφορές και το κυριότερο όλων, η χώρα τους δεν διαθέτει χλωρίδα και πανίδα. Αλήθεια, μπορεί να εξελιχθεί, μπορεί να αναπτυχθεί μια χώρα χωρίς δέντρα, χωρίς ζώα. Δεν θα σας αποκαλύψω τίποτα πλην ενός. Η Αλίκη και ο θείος της εμπλέκονται σε περιπέτειες ικανές να μας προβληματίσουν, αλλά και να εξάψουν τη φαντασία μας. Το βιβλίο «Κοίτα από το παράθυρο» με συγκίνησε πολύ και άλλο τόσο με μελαγχόλησε. Θίγει την νοητική στέρηση, τη γονική μέριμνα, τις βαθιά ριζωμένες πεποιθήσεις των λαών, τη θυσία αλλά και τη φιλία. Κεντρικός ήρωας της ιστορίας είναι ένα 15χρονο παιδί νοητικά ανάπηρο. Αγαπάει τα ζώα, έχει φίλο του τον γουρουνούλι, σώζεται την τελευταία στιγμή από τον άγνωστο μέχρι πρότινος Αχμέτ και οι δυο τους ξεκινούν ένα ταξίδι με διαφορετικούς στόχους. Ο νέος της ιστορίας μας είναι αθώος και αυτή του την ιδιότητα εκμεταλλεύεται ο Αχμέτ προς όφελός του. Πολλές περιπέτειες μας περιμένουν, άλλες αστείες, μ' άλλες στενόχωρες και αμφίβολες. Οι σελίδες του βιβλίου θα μας αφυπνίσουν σχετικά με τον σεβασμό από τον άνθρωπο προς τον άνθρωπο, μα και από τον άνθρωπο προς τα ζώα. Αφότου ολοκληρώσατε την ανάγνωση του βιβλίου, θα έχετε ταξιδέψει στο Λονδίνο και πλέον θα αναζητείτε θύτες και θύματα, θα αναζητείτε μερίδια ευθυνών και είμαι βέβαιη πως μια ματιά από το παράθυρο προς τον έξω κόσμο θα είναι η άμεση προτεραιότητά σας. Οδεύουμε ολοταχώς για παραμύθια. Όμορφα παραμύθια, με πλούσια εικονογράφηση, με ήρωες που περιμένουν να τους ανακαλύψουμε. Το παιδικό βιβλίο «Το φεγγαράκι και εγώ» της Άντρεα Πέκλαρ κρύβει μέσα του μια αθωότητα. Είναι τρυφερό και ικανό να βοηθήσει τα παιδιά να αποκοιμηθούν πλάι σε γλυκά όνειρα. Όλοι μας έχουμε ταξιδέψει με το φεγγάρι, όλοι μας θεωρούμε πως μας έχει προστατέψει τις νύχτες και όλοι μας το αγαπάμε πολύ. Το κοριτσάκι της ιστορίας θα δώσει μια νέα διάσταση στο φεγγάρι. Θεωρεί πως είναι άτακτο, πως παίζει μαζί μας κρυφτό και αλλάζει συνεχώς τη μορφή του. Τις ώρες που εμείς είμαστε ξύπνοι, εκείνο κοιμάται. Και τις ώρες που το φεγγάρι ξυπνά, εμείς πρέπει να κοιμηθούμε. Μην νοιάζεστε όμως, γιατί πάντα μας προσέχει, πάντα είναι σύμμαχος και συνοδοιπόρος μας και με το άπλετο φως του διώχνει μακριά τα σκοτάδια που τόσο μας φοβίζουν. Πρόκειται για ένα παραμύθι γραμμένο με ποιητικό λόγο, ικανό να αφήσει ένα χαμόγελο στο πρόσωπό μας και να μας προσφέρει έναν ύπνο γεμάτο όμορφα όνειρα. Περνάμε στο επόμενο βιβλίο της Άντρεα Πέκλαρ, το οποίο ξεχυλίζει χρώματα και μελωδίες. Φανταστείτε να μπορούσατε να ακούσετε να κελαηδούν 1000 πουλιά. Φανταστείτε να είχατε τη δυνατότητα να έχετε στην κατοχή σας 1000 πουλιά. Μήπως θα χρειαζόσασταν ένα τεράστιο κλουβί? Μήπως όμως τα πουλιά θα ήταν λυπημένα αν τα είχατε φυλακίσει? Σε αυτές τις ερωτήσεις απαντάει η συγγραφέας μέσα από την ιστορία της, μια ιστορία που υμνεί την ελευθερία, μια πολύτιμη αξία για κάθε άνθρωπο, για κάθε παιδί και για κάθε πλάσμα. Ήταν κάποτε ένας βασιλιάς, ο οποίος ζούσε στο τεράστιο βασίλειό του μονάχος του. Έπλητε και βαριόταν, όταν μια μέρα άκουσε την ωραιότερη μελωδία. Αμέσως έβαλε σκοπό της ζωής του να βρει αυτό το πουλί και να το κάνει δικό του. Έδωσε εντολή στους υπηκόους του να το αναζητήσουν και εκείνοι έτρεξαν να ικανοποιήσουν την επιθυμία του. Βρήκαν πολλά πουλιά, μα κανένα δεν κελαηδούσε, με αποτέλεσμα το βασίλειο πλέον να έχει γεμίσει πτηνά. Όταν μια μέρα ο βασιλιάς ανακάλυψε με τη βοήθεια ενός μικρού παιδιού τον λόγο που τα παιδιά έμεναν βουβά, παραδειγματίστηκε και αποφάσισε πως η ελευθερία μπορεί να κάνει τον καθένα μας ευτυχισμένο. Άφησα τελευταίο το παραμύθι της Γιάνα Μπάουερ, πώς αγκαλιάζουμε έναν σκαντζόχοιρο. Θα σας πω αλήθεια. Μέχρι τη στιγμή που διάβασα το παραμύθι, δεν είχα ιδέα πώς μπορούμε να αγκαλιάσουμε έναν σκαντζόχοιρο. Σκεφτόμουν πως με τόσα πολλά αγκάθια, κανείς δεν θα μπορούσε να τον αγκαλιάσει, μα ευτυχώς έκανα λάθος. Όπως μπορείτε να αντιληφθείτε, η αγκαλιά είναι πολύτιμη και αναγκαία για όλους. Έτσι και για το σκαντζόχοιρο της ιστορίας μας. Ήθελε ο καημένος μια αγκαλιά. Ήθελε να νιώσει τη ζεστασιά της, μα κανένας δεν τολμούσε να τον αγκαλιάσει. Πλησίαζε τα ζώα του δάσους, μα κανείς δεν ανταποκρινόταν στο κάλεσμά του, ώσπου ξαφνικά βρέθηκε λύση. Δεν θα σας πω ποια ήταν αυτή η λύση, θα σας πω μονάχα ότι μια μικρή κίνηση μπορεί να οδηγήσει στα αναμενόμενα αποτελέσματα, χωρίς κόπο, μα με τον κατάλληλο τρόπο. Και τούτο το παραμύθι είναι τρυφερό, διαθέτει συναισθηματική χρειά, μπορεί να διαβαστεί από μικρούς μα και από μεγάλους και είναι ικανό να μας θυμίσει ότι η αγκαλιά έχει αξία όταν συνοδεύεται από συναισθήματα, όταν δεν περιέχει εγωισμούς και φυσικά όταν γίνεται από καρδιάς. Σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Okay, do you want to come with us to join the panel? No? What?
Is there a way out?
Whatever you wish. You wish.
No.
It's better to stay here.
Faithful sort of person.
Okay. Okay. So now I have. Okay, let's first of all speak.
Zijn we stowers? Yeah.
I think first of all we need to have some I don't know some words of each of you. So, Έβαλντ, do you want to start about
No, once
about
I
the book?
start, you can't stop me.
I remember I remember a book presentation in London.
According to the plan I was the last one.
The last one, okay. I remember a book presentation in London. So I was there.
Yes.
Maybe last year or 2 years
I
ago.
was very bad at that presentation.
But
I hope I'll be better here.
it took a long. Okay, so let's start with Άντρεα.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to say some words in the
Yes, of course.
for the beginning?
First, thank you for inviting, and thank you for translating my 2 books in your language. I'm really very, very happy about that. Prosim? Aha, okay, okay. I have also another book in Greece, so I have 3 books in Greek language, and I'm really very happy about that. And also thank you for the critique, yes, for the speech, and maybe.
So you know the answer for the first you said about your translations is that you have a very good publisher who promote your books. So I have some questions for you. Some questions which Katerina prepared. First of all, okay, this is a very detailed question. Άντρεα, can a child make friends with the moon?
Well, of course. This idea about the child and the moon, I think began in my childhood when I loved to walk at night around, of course with my parents. And we lived under the mountains, and especially in winter, when there was snow and the moonlight, this whole paysage looked very, very magical. And I think that this feeling of moonshine I take to my adulthood, and maybe there begin my idea for this book. The moon is always there. The moon is, although it is changing all the time, It is a kind of stability. It gives a child a kind of comfort, I think. Kind of, it is always there, like a friends. They are always there for you, you for them. So I think this connection is here somewhere. I also concept this book these characters in the book. The moon, first the moon, is like some child's plays or toys. For example, the moon is like a balloon sometimes. The moon is like a ball. They all play seek and hide like a child. And all characters can be a child's toys. A teddy bear is bear, rabbit. So I wanted to connect this reality with this imaginative mind of a child. Something like that.
Thank you. In the book Thousand Birds, which Katerina loved, and maybe
thank
me,
you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
You explore freedom, loneliness, and joy. Do you think young readers can comprehend these themes through a book?
Yes, I think that with metaphor, with story, the child can accept some maybe more abstract topics, or he can understand this not rationally, but more emotionally or intuitively. Because if I think when I was a child and I was reading some fairy tales which were like this, more with these feelings, I didn't understand it the same way like I understand it now. But I think I understand it on some subconscious or emotional way, and later I can understand it more rationally. So I think that telling this with the story, which is understandable on a basic way, you can understand these deeper meanings in the story also.
Okay, and the third question is, what would you like young readers to take away from your book, Thousand Birds? I think the message of the book.
The message, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, the main message is that freedom is very important for our happiness in life, for our development of all our potentials. If you are, that we must not make some other people give them obstacles or give them or possess them or give them boundaries. If we like or love someone or something or animal or people, we have to let them free. Like these birds, we have to let them develop spread their wings, you know, like a metaphor. So this is the main metaphor. Then I wanted to say also that possession or grabbing things doesn't make someone happy. For example, this king in the book, when he let these birds free, he also frees himself in a way. So I think this is also a message to children. And this freedom on more some other level, maybe this freedom can also relate to artistic freedom. You know, when an artist is creating, he must not have obstacles, he must not have frames, he must think out of the frame, he must try new things, he must make free mind, have free mind to create really, and to develop something new. So this can be also a message in the book.
Okay. Thank you, Άντρεα.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Γιάνα Μπάουερ. Okay. Yes, but by the way, the books of Άντρεα Πέκλαρ in English is Thousand Birds, Χίλια, πουλιά in Greek, and Moon and Me, το φεγγαράκι και εγώ in Greek. So, but before all of these books, the beginning with the translation of Slovenian literature in the Slovenian books of Sodopnos into Greek for Vacchicón, was the children's book of Giána Báuer, How to Hug a Hedgehog. Sorry. Yeah, hedgehog. Yes, I don't. It's difficult for me, maybe. So, πώς μπορούμε να αγκαλιάσουμε ένα σκαντζόχοιρο στα ελληνικά. And now we have the opportunity to present the book in Athens. So the first question of Katerina, Giána, your book tackles diversity. Do you think children can accept diversity easier than adults can?
Yes, I think so. Yes, because they are more open. They are not so full of prejudices as their parents are, maybe. But children can also be, as we know, very nasty to each other. And this is because maybe they listen to wrong thoughts, to wrong company, to wrong parents who maybe had some more deeply rooted prejudices, and that's why I think it's very important for children to read really good books. Because I know that there are librarians, even in Slovenia, that was also discussion this year at London Book Fair, who says it doesn't matter what children read, it's important for them to read, because otherwise we will lose these children who still read. So it's maybe, let's give them a crap, doesn't matter. It's just important to read. But I don't think so. It's important to read good books, because only good books will open your mind, will give you something back. And if you don't really, if you read just some books to have some fun, then that it's maybe doesn't matter if you are on computer and playing your games or you're reading these books. So it's very important that we have good books, and the books that tackle diversity and open-mindedness and so on. Yeah, and children, you can change actually. If child is reading, it doesn't matter in what kind of society he or she lives. It could start thinking with its own head, and that's what we should teach our children, to think with their own heads, and that's what book can do for you. Reading can do for you.
Do you think illustration plays a big role in children's books? How can it help the book and the reader?
Illustrations, yes, of course. Good
Maybe
illustrations.
the 70%.
Yes. we live now in the world of images more and more, and text is less and less important. But for example, for picture book, the text and images, as Andrea will probably confirm, are equally important. So it's really good if you are, as Andrea is, illustrator and author at the same time, because then you can, within yourself, cut, you know, and do this some text and put it into the images and around. So that's very good if you can do this. And if you are only author, then you need to talk to illustrator. And of course, if it's good illustrator, she or he will not only illustrate the story, but will speak with images where the story is silent. So for me, this is a good picture book. The good picture book cannot live without exactly these images and exactly this text. So this is like...
So what's your opinion about the silent books? This is my question.
I like silent book if they are good. If they are good, every book which is good is good. So it doesn't matter. Even silent book, I don't know. I like them.
Okay. And the third question is, what inspired you to write this book?
Probably because I'm, as you do also, Nestoras, I'm visiting all these book fairs, international book fairs, and at some point there was really a lot of stories, picture books about hugging. And I was wondering why this hugging is so important. And all these, you know, hugs, everybody inside was so sweet and nice and so on. And I start thinking, because when my writing is more, I like peculiar characters and nonsense and so on, and aesthetic things. And then I was wondering, because, you know, in the word, it's not, you can't really do everything with a hug. And I was a little bit angry about this hugging, because just hug me and everything is okay after that. It's not like that. So I start wondering, what if there is someone that you cannot hug from some reason? And then, of course, Hedgehog was just perfect for this role.
Andrea, Gianna, sorry, thank you so much. A few words from your side about the presentation, about your trip in Greece, about your books.
Actually, thank you. I will probably not announce good, but thank you to Vackhikon.
Okay, good, very good.
Because I know that the publishing team are those who make that book is possible to have. And I'm also editor and publisher 11 months in a year, and 1 month I'm writer. And I know how difficult is to actually to publish book, to find readers and so on. So I'm really thankful to you and to your group, translator. And I hope we will continue with our cooperation.
We calculated the books last night, and it was 9 so far. 9 books from Sodopnos translated into Greek, so I think we have a future. By the way, which is the month that you are a writer? August?
No, January.
Oh, okay. Usually it's August.
No, it's January.
So, we have now we have Έβαλντ, okay? It's our honor, and that's saying that Έβαλντ was in IANOS 20 years ago, 24. Right? 24 years ago you were there, you were here for your first translation into Greek, right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about before saying a word or two, if I can find them, about my 2 books that you published recently. I was here this morning in the bookshop and looked around and spoke to can everybody hear me?
Yes, yes.
And spoke to a very nice lady, and I asked her, do you still sell books that were published 24 years ago? And she said, well, I'm not sure. What was the title? I said the title was Taonera tu patera moi, My Father's Dreams. And she said, I'll have a look. And she went to the nearest computer, typed it in, and suddenly it appears on the screen. And then a minute later, she brought me the book.
Wow.
Yes, and I was, without
Very strange.
trying to insult you, I put the book next to the to yours, your publications. But when I came this evening, it was all changed because you put it all back. You removed it. Yes, I understand that. Yes.
We push it back.
Yeah. Now another thing I have to mention: when I listened to Katerina, I was overcome by a horrible fear that my readers understand my books about as much as I understood her. So I realized that I could never have a discussion with Socrates, for example, not only because of my lack of Greek, which was, of course, in his time different, and I am not sure that he understood Latin. I had Latin. There was no English in those days. What I wanted to say is that basically we are here in one of the the best bookshops I have ever been in. I mean, to have a book for sale after 24 years is incredible. This is a record.
It's unique.
It is unique, yeah.
Yes.
The answer may be that they have it because the book doesn't sell.
Or the publisher doesn't care. Doesn't care about what? To return back the stock. You know that we have this practice in
Yeah.
the publishing sector. We return back the stock after, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. But
Yes.
anyway, you're lucky. So
Yes,
found your book, so-
I am lucky for many reasons, yes, including having you as a publisher.
thank you.
So let's hope we will continue.
Well,
I have written more than 2 books.
it's a promise. Okay, so let's have the first question.
Oh, you are asking me questions?
Yes, not on me. I am the voice of Katerina,
Okay, well,
the male voice.
yeah. I can't guarantee that you will get an answer. Depends on the question.
Okay, whatever. If you wish, you could answer. I don't know. The target audience for your books, dear Έβαλντ, is for older children, let's say young adult. Okay. So what could entice young people to start reading books?
Young people to start reading books. Well, there are many.
Very difficult age, you know.
Yeah. When I walked through this bookshop, I was watching people who were looking at books and probably intending to buy some. And they were mostly young, adolescents. And the older people looked like professors. So maybe the young people do read. If they don't, and we want to not force them, but entice them to start reading, we can promise each a big chocolate, for example. Or a much better thing, we can send them out onto the street and ask them to ask everybody who walks past, have you read this book? And we could promise them, let's say, everyone 100,000 euros if he does that. And most people would say, no, I'm afraid I haven't read this book. And then the child would point across the road and say, well, in that case, that is the nearest bookshop. That would be one way of making young people read. But I shouldn't complain because our son, who is 19, started to read at the age of 10 English books, mostly history, philosophy, and things like that. And every now and then he raised his hand and said, "Mistake." And he discovered that in one word, one letter was either too many or was missing. So, but then unfortunately now his best friend has become his computer.
Of course, for all of the child.
Yes.
Child, yes. Okay. Let's talk about the books. The first one is Alice in Crazyland, the first book that we published from your young adult book series. So in this book, you invite us on a journey on the raft of imagination. Is imagination necessary to teenagers and young people?
Well, without imagination, you can't even drink a glass of wine. Imagination is the only reality that is available to us, at least for me. So, imagination in connection with Alice. Not much imagination was necessary to write this book.
But it is full of imagination, this book. You know, imagination is the 95%, you know, for the readers, the final result.
Well, maybe when you read it, yes, but when I wrote it, it just wrote itself, basically. Some of my books write themselves. They don't require much effort. Unfortunately, not enough of them. So occasionally I suffer when writing books. But those are usually not translated then. So, Alice in Crazyland. It's an island called Poterunia. That's where she finds herself with her uncle, who is an economic advisor. They're on the way to Trinidad and Tobago, where economy has totally collapsed, and her uncle has been asked to sort it out. But unfortunately, they land on an unknown island called Poterunia. Why? Because they have used up all their resources, and the only thing they have left is a clay-like substance called potty. And everything is made out of this, because they have no other resources. They have used them all up. And we are all Poterunians. We are destroying woods, we are killing animals, we are destroying everything that is our future. So imagine that under the Athens, under the floor, the ground of Athens, there is a substance called Attica. Yes. So in that case, Greece would be called, or Athens would be called Atticurunia.
Like the island.
But the problem is that in Poterunia, or in Atticurunia, everything is made of potty, or Attica. Why? Because there is nothing else. But they have to dig it out from under the floor, under the ground on which they are living, under the capital city, Pottington. Everything, all the names are potty, Potiela, Poterunia, Poterunco, and so on. So they have to dig out their support. But because they need more and more supporting pillars, they have to destroy most of what they produce so that they can use the rubbish then for new supporting pillars. It's a vicious circle. So this is Alice in Crazyland. Difficult to understand? that's what we are
For me,
doing.
I have read the book before.
No, I mean, is it difficult to understand that we are all Potterunians?
No.
That's what we are doing. It's only a matter of time.
Let's talk about Look Through the Window, the other book of you. The book that I realized last night that you have a lot of readers here about Look Through the Window. You told me that there is a lot of readers in Thessaloniki about this book, right?
No, only one contacted me.
Okay, you never know. So, yes.
And he said that he's going to read it twice.
So this is an honor. I
Yes,
think.
well, there you are. So I have 2 readers in Thessaloniki.
But I think this reader said to you that he recommends this book to everyone.
Yes.
You know, when I have time, I check the sales of the book to see if he's saying truth or not.
If he's done anything, yes. Okay,
Anyway,
we'll see.
so let's move to your book, Look Through the Window, a book whose protagonist is an intellectually disabled, a book that can teach us about friendship, selflessness, but also make a question deeply rooted and at the same time outdated beliefs. For Katerina, not for me, it is a book that made me reflect on many levels. So is this what you hope for the reader of this book?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Can you repeat the question? No.
It is a long question, that's why.
No, in connection with Katerina, you and
Yes,
Katerina.
because the question said, for me, it is a book. Yes, but it's not for me because the question is Katerina. So for Katerina, it is a book that maybe reflect Katerina on many levels. So is this what you hope for the readers of this book? Because
Well,
Katerina make the question, not me. I am the voice. I said.
yes, I understand that. But I have to answer. That is the problem. I don't have definite hopes for my books. I just hope that people will read them and understand them. And of course, everyone understands every book in a different way, in line with their life experiences, their hopes, their fears, and so on. So people writing about my books disagree in a big way about what they are about, the books. I've grown used to it. I mean, it's been going on for such a long time. But even those who praise the books cannot agree why the books are good. Yes, this is a story about a 15-year-old boy who had an accident and suffered some sort of internal split and started to forget things. So he began to keep a book of, what is it called? The book of things? Or, a book of notes, yeah. So whatever happens, he writes down into this booklet. Otherwise he would forget it. And then, unfortunately, his parents, for his 15th birthday, give him a very unfortunate present. His best friend is the family pig. And they kill this pig, and he has to eat the pig's blood, fried. This is actually based on my own experience because I grew up in a similar village and we had one pig, and I remember looking through the window, and in the courtyard my father and a neighbor were cutting up our pig. And then my mother brought me the pig's blood to eat, and it tasted very, very good.
Really?
Yes.
But this is Slovenian dish, actually.
That's
Yes.
a Slovenian dish.
Yes. And I have been feeling, I don't know, some sort of deep-seated guilt about it for such a long time that I try to get rid of this guilt by writing this book and create a character who was really shaken by this event to such an extent that he decided to drown in the river. But he is saved by a Syrian immigrant boy, Ahmed. They become friends, and Ahmed invites him to travel with him to London. Now that is also based on my life experience, because I lived in London for 20 years, came back to Slovenia in 1990, but there was no work for me. I worked in publishing as an editor in London, so occasionally a job came up in London and I would hop in the car at 7 in the morning and drive across Austria, Germany and France to Calais and then on to London. I started at 7 in the morning. At midnight I was in London. And these two boys go the same way. Of course, I wasn't on the way rescuing any pigs, as they do. But I do remember that on the ferry from Calais to Dover, there was a truck with live pigs in front of me when I parked the car. That I do remember. A lot of what you find in my books is actually based on my true life, my experiences. So anyway, they become friends, and but they both have problems. The protagonist's problem is that he has sort of divided. He's divided inside, and he talks to himself. He addresses when he says, "Look through the window." He's telling that to himself. Of course, the reader does not. Is it Alfred? Alfred, yes, knows that, and at the end, he writes him a letter explaining that he is talking to himself actually. But Alfred has another problem. He doesn't know the difference because of his poor English between great and big. So my protagonist decides to tell him that big is not always great and great is not always big. So if you allow me, I would like to read a page or page and a half from the book.
English. Yes, I saw it is the English edition.
Is it? You don't want me to read it? I just have to find it, what I wanted to read. Oh my goodness. Did I find it? I stuck a piece of paper in. Fate of pigs. How great were the great ones. Yes. Ahmed suddenly becomes sad, gloomy. You think that he might be cheered up by one of the stories that you used to tell schoolmates during school holidays. You amuse them by quoting from unusual lists. Even the biggest hooligans and brawlers like to listen. Most often you told your stories when 20 of you slept together in the big room of the hostel. When tired from swimming in the heat, one or another would almost always ask you to tell them some interesting facts. and always others added their voices to the request. It's a bedtime story, they said. That's how it was last year too, when your class went to a hostel near Porridge in Istria for 5 days. What did you tell your schoolmates in the hostel dormitory late in the evening? You think that Ahmed, who is not all that tall, might like best the story of how great those who went down in history really were. From the Book of Lists, you read him the following data. Queen Victoria, who reigned over an empire on which the sun never set, was 152 centimeters tall. Napoleon, who conquered half of Europe, was 167 centimeters tall. Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, was 157. Alexander Pope, the great English poet, was 137. Pablo Picasso, the great artist and womanizer, was 162. Honoré de Balzac, the great French writer, was 157. Voltaire, the French writer, was 160. Tutankhamun, Egyptian pharaoh, was 167. And how great was Alexander the Great? 152 centimeters, less than most of the Greeks of his time. And Churchill, 169. And Vladimir Putin, 169. And famous footballers, Maradona, 165. Lionel Messi, 170. Pele, 172. What about Muhammad? Ahmed asks. Have data for him? You must admit that you haven't. At the same time, it strikes you that maybe Ahmed would be interested how great some people were in terms of their character rather than their height. You give him 2 examples from the Book of Lists. Martin Luther, the father of Protestantism, was anything but a friendly uncle who it would be nice to stay with for a week or 2 beside the sea. His intolerance to everything and everybody outside of his religious reforms was stunning, even at a time when intolerance was the rule rather than the exception. In 1525, when German peasants revolted and demanded their basic rights, he viciously attacked them in an essay entitled Against the Murdering and Thieving Hordes of Yokels. When his wife complained about the servants, he said, "You need to deal with them in the Turkish way, so much work for so much food, like the Pharaoh did with the Israelis in Egypt." When the Jews failed to join his religious reforms in any numbers, he published an essay recommending that they be deported to Palestine. In any case, their synagogues should be burned to the ground and all the books seized. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, was no less unpleasant. He was convinced that ethics was one thing, business another, and that there was no connection between them. The duty of a businessman was to look after his interests and not give a damn about others, he said. His employees had to work long hours in chaotic and dangerous conditions, and he paid them just enough to stop them going elsewhere. He lived in his laboratory as if he didn't have a family. Both his wives suffered from depression, and his oldest son became an alcoholic, eventually committing suicide. No parents are perfect, you add. And whoever is tall is not necessarily great. And whoever is great is not necessarily tall. There is a difference between tall and great. That's what my boy on the way to London tells his friend Alfred. Not Alfred, sorry. Ahmed, yes. So, I'm sorry for boring you, but at least you learned some facts that you were not familiar with.
Indeed, now I think you're better than this presentation in London last year. In Athens. It's better for you. Thank you so much, Eva. It is our honor that we have you here because, you know, Susanna, that Eva is one of the most significant and high acclaimed Slovenian authors. And we will have Έβαλντ and Άντρεα and Γιάνα as well in Thessaloniki. We have several events there on Friday. We have.
Oh my God!
Oh yes, this is the truth. We have the truth. We have Friday morning a workshop based on the children's books of Giána Μπάουερ and Άντρεα Πέκλαρ in the children's corner of Thessaloniki, the National Book Fair, at 10 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock, we have a very, very interesting panel discussion about Creative Europe and the benefits for the participation in this project, because also the most of the books of Sodopnos and also your presence here supported by Creative Europe as well. So at 11 o'clock we have this panel discussion, and Giána and Άντρεα will participate in this panel. And the same day at 7 o'clock we will have the event with Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ and one more author, Sarai Savit, and we will discuss about the books again. So please prepare another part of the book, not the same.
Yeah.
Because I am the same person.
But
there.
we will not discuss Palestine.
And maybe Giána and Susanna. And I think this is a very, very good closing of this small Slovenian delegation in Greece. Again, thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you so much for the support of the embassy and all of you. Just say that besides these books that we discussed, we have also 2 more books of Έβαλντ Φλίσαρ here in IANOS. Maybe we have 3 more books because we have also the first book of 2000, but also we have another 2 novels. Dust of Time, I think, is the English title.
No, if I only had time.
If I only had time, sorry.
Yes.
But maybe I am worst for the English title of the other book.
The original.
Amartya.
The originals.
Amartya.
Dust, kaže ona angliška.
Dust of Time, I think.
No, dust, swarm of dust.
Swarm
of dust.
Swarm of dust. Is the other one.
You published that?
You don't
A
know?
swarm of dust.
You don't know?
No.
Okay.
You never sent me the books, you see.
Of course, and you have also given an interview for this book. I will send you the link
Yeah,
Maybe you
I
forgot.
would prefer the book.
because you are very translated in a lot of languages, so that's why.
Only 43.
Only 43.
Yes,
so
I
that's
only
why.
have 270 translations. That's nothing.
If I was in your position, I forgot as well.
And then he asked me, which is this book in this language, in this translation? They didn't send it to me. And then I go to Sodopnos and bring you.
We have sent all the copies.
A swarm of dust.
We do a very good job here. Okay, so do you have any questions about the books or
The sin,
to our
Amarta.
Amartya?
Amartya. The sin, yeah.
The sin.
Yeah, that's what you published. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was, in England, it was published as a swarm of dust.
Swarm of dust, yes, from Susan, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Perfect. So, thank you again. Βιβλία, ναι, the books are sold here in the bookstore, in the ground floor. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's have a photo. Let's have a photo with all of us. Susanna, let's go with us. Strato. Let's go with us. I think Hipsime will help us with a photo. Come on.